Fantastic. Soup Kitchen Reggae. Now we're moving on to the Minister of Finance in Jamaica, Honorable Faisal Williams. And the letter goes like this. As an Honorable Faisal Williams, as an advocate for the empowerment of women, I am pleased to address this letter to you. Gender does matter and gender makes a difference. It is up to us all to make sure the difference is positive. However, inclusion of women should not be mistaken for a true understanding of the female paradigm, which should be recognized in its own right and utilized as a foundation for policy. This letter is not about that process, but I could not resist a good opportunity to shed some light on Cool Mom Records and our steady progress. It is my hope that Your Honor will in the future contribute to our many socio-economic platforms, in particular Next Up Zanzibar. It is an initiative with the objective of developing a global constitution for women by women. The underpinning for that constitution and this letter is one and the same. I briefly allude to it in my letter to your Prime Minister. However, I did not mention it by name. It is called Comprehensive Corporate Social Responsibility, in short CCSR. The combination of land value taxation and the intensification of the velocity of exchange through deliberate public participation is the essence of CCSR. CCSR has the ability to bring resolution where any economy is faced with adversity, constraints, and even conflict. CCSR is my innovation, based on fundamental contributions made by various people through history. Going as far back as Adam Smith and John Locke, the idea of social contract plays a role in fiscal policy. At the core of social contract is access to land and the wealth thereof. Jamaica is no stranger to land value taxation and is on a list of the few countries that have represented its principles. Several independent communities in the United States still practice it. There it is known as the single tax. The people who advocate it are known as Georgists, named after Henry George, who popularized it. Nobel Peace Prize winner economist Joseph Stiglitz is a Georgist. Other countries that have to a certain extent implemented LVT are South Africa and Denmark. In Denmark, it was utilized by Viking King Sven Forkbeard. In Denmark, it was utilized by Viking King Sven Forkbeard. In the Bible, it is represented in Leviticus 25 and Psalm 24, and many of the parables of Christ, by the way. In South Africa, during apartheid, it covered up to 90% of Western Cape's revenue, compensating for income tax and VAT. In Denmark, a 40-year democratic debate preceded the adoption of LVT when three political parties that advocated it formed a coalition government in 1957. This resulted in 4 years that delivered an economic miracle. Besides LVT, the quantity theory of money supply provides the framework for CCSR. LVT increases the money available for the consumer, thereby stimulating spending, investment, and growth. This is where platforms for public participation can be created for, by, and with the people. CCSR will expand the country's tax base and increase foreign investment interest. A concerted combination of engineering, harmonization, and extrapolation opens up new activities. Transposing of dynamics opens up new avenues and industries. Most importantly, though, is the consolidation of social contract when corporate social responsibility is defined by collaborations between government, corporations, and interest groups, which we call platforms for public participation. CCSR allows the people to play a fiscal role beyond consumption. It saves the government a lot of parenting expenses time, money, and skills. It gives a country like Jamaica the privilege of economic self-determination and rewards them beyond remuneration for labor. Above all, for Jamaica, the long-term benefit of this dynamic is a steady decrease in crime and thereby government spending on fighting crime. For these few words,